So today, Shams is reporting that the Houston Rockets will be working with veteran point guard John Wall to try and find a suitable trade partner around the NBA. Now there are a bunch of rumblings coming up about which teams should potentially inquire about John Wall and his services, and somehow the Sixers name is popping up. Today I will tell you all why the Sixers need to stay as far away as possible from a guy like John Wall. Let's talk about it. Perfect. What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome on into Philly Take with RB, where we constantly talk Philadelphia sports. You know what to do. Drop a like, hit the subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell. That way you are tapped in every time we drop some content or go live. Be sure to check out the merch store and consider becoming a channel member as well. All information and links down below in the description. Also, just a quick announcement. I know we really haven't been, talking much Sixers. There hasn't been much talk about, but it's surprising to say, but training camp is under 3 weeks away, so we're going to be diving back into it. I appreciate everybody for always staying tuned in, and we will be doing some type of Sixers stream or roundtable probably next week. I'm going to get some of your favorite Sixers creators together, and we're going to talk about how we are feeling about all the situations and just about this team in general at this point. We might even take some calls, so if you have any questions or topics that you want us to hit on, drop them down below in the comments section. All right, before we get into the cream and crop of this video, let's talk about a piece of news that came out today. That is right, Carmelo Anthony, one of your favorite veterans most likely, and one time a really good player in his game, and I'm happy for Melo. He's found a home lately, but apparently there was interest from the Philadelphia 76ers in free agency. He said there was interest from New York, the Knicks, Philly, and the Pelicans in free agency. Quote, I didn't really get a chance to converse with the Sixers, but there was interest. As you know, Melo went to the Lakers, and apparently he was trying to go back to Portland as well, but I guess they kind of moved on, and who knows with Portland at this point, But Carmelo ended up going to the Lakers, but it is interesting that Daryl Morey had his eyes on a forward like Carmelo, especially at this stage in his career. So I don't know. Maybe he was trying to go out, but, we probably just didn't even have enough to sign him anyway. But just wanted to throw that out there. Anyway, getting into the cream of the crop of the video, John Wall, right? John Wall, like I said, Shams reporting that him and the Rockets have met. And, they agreed that they're both going in different directions, and they're going to try to find a home for John Wall. The plan is for Wall to be present at training camp, but not play in the Rockets games this season, to keep them in shape and all that. And now people are asking me, well, should the Sixers inquire about John Wall? I'm seeing a bunch of teams and a bunch of rumblings. Here is my complete, simple answer to your question. Heck no. No way. No way. The Sixers should stay as far away as possible from a guy like John Wall. It's crazy because, I still can't believe that trade went down, John Wall and Russell Westbrook, but seeing how that played out is absolutely insane. But anyway, people keep asking me why. Well, here's the two reasons. Number one, Shams says that there are no buyout plans for the Rockets and John Wall on his 2-year remaining contract, $91.7 million allocated over the next 2 seasons. And for a more in-depth breakdown of that, here you go. This season coming up, $44.3 million for John Wall. And then the following season, $47.3 million. And then he will hit free agency in 2023. John Wall is currently 31 years old. And you know what? That is way too much money. I don't know. I've been looking at some of these insiders talking about this. I don't know how that trade is even going to happen. I don't see it happening. I really don't. I think they're going to have to buy him out somehow, some way, because that contract, honestly, at this point, looks like the worst contract in the NBA. And it's no disrespect in terms of who John Wall is, okay? If this had come up and you had asked me this 4 years ago, I would say go all in. John Wall used to be one of my favorite point guards. But at 31 years old, here's the other reason. John Wall can't stay healthy. He's a 5-time All-Star. He's a former #1 overall pick. He played 10 years with the Wizards. Unfortunately, they're the Wizards, so they couldn't get him over the top, especially with Bradley Beal. But John Wall was a baller, man, but his body has taken a toll. He has had about 6 or 7 major surgeries. I think he's had 6 with a 7th one coming up. I think 5 or 6 have been on his knees. He's had a ruptured Achilles. He's had all these types of injuries. And at 31 years old, making that much money, it would be a complete disaster. Now, John Wall looked pretty good when he was on the court last season, but you know what? He hasn't played a full season in, I think, like 4 to 5 years. Okay? I mean, 2 years ago, he didn't even play the entire season because he got injured. When he is on the court, he can still give you 20 points a game. He can give you 10 assists. He can hit some shots here and there. But you know what? It's not reliable enough. And what are you going to trade somebody, and match some salary and bring John Wall in, and then what? The only way I could see Daryl Morey in his right mind even considering this is if the Rockets, which I think if they trade is going to happen, they would have to throw in like 4 to 5 picks, honestly, to get John Wall off the books. According to them, they don't even want to throw in a first-round pick to get him off the books. So, honestly, I don't know what the Rockets are going to do. Now, he might go to some team with a lot of young talent, kind of be like a mentor there, but still, that's way too much. Now, the only other way I could see the Sixers being interested is if there is indeed a buyout and you get him on a minimum contract. Maybe you bring him in, give him a try, see what happens. But again, we don't know what's going to happen there. I just don't see a swap-for-swap type of trade. And like I said, a bunch of these insiders, they don't even know how to they don't even know how to begin putting together a trade package to try to move that off the books of the Rockets. It just, unfortunately, John Wall just can't stay healthy anymore. And, he's not the same player he once was. It's unfortunate because if he was, I would love a guard like what John Wall used to be. But no. Stay away from it. Do not even think about it if you were the Sixers. The fact that people on Twitter, by the way, follow me on Twitter at RBPhillyTake. We talk about all this stuff behind the scenes, man, and I love hearing everybody's opinions, whether you agree, disagree, whatever. But some people are trying to justify to me why the Sixers should trade for John Wall. And I'm just laughing, man. Absolutely not. If you could promise me he'll play a full season next season, sure, maybe. But I don't think that's going to happen. And he might even end up back in Houston. I don't see anybody trying to take on that risk. But with that being said, those are just all my thoughts on the situation. Very pure and simple for me. I want to hear from you. Would you consider John Wall and making a move for him if you're the Sixers? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments section. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Like always, I will catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.